Are we all together now? So your heart, remember, would be in here. All right? Cardiac notch. Oh, we didn't get to the cardiac notch yet because the respiratory system will be the next system that we study next week. Okay. Anyway, so here you have the aortic arch. First branch, brachiocephalic artery, branching into the right common carotid artery and the right subclavian artery going under the clavicle. The next branch is the left common carotid artery. The third branch coming off is the left subclavian artery. Got that? Good. Now you have your thoracic aorta, or just call it the aorta. I really couldn't care less. This is the diaphragm. Here we have a nice diaphragm separating the thoracic and abdominal cavities. So here now is our abdominal aorta. Coming from the abdominal aorta, immediately after passing through the diaphragm, is the celiac trunk. And branching from the celiac trunk, you do see three vessels. Now, I find it very difficult to identify each of the three, which is which. But we know that one is the left gastric, one is the hepatic, one is the splenic to the spleen. So I want you to know the three, but I can't ask you which one of them is that one.
Which exactly, what part is the celiac trunk?
The celiac trunk is the short, little stubby that comes right off the aorta. So it's a very short vessel till it splits. Okay? All right. Inferior to that is the superior mesenteric, which goes basically to the intestines. You have the right and left renal arteries coming out. You have more aorta, and now here is the inferior mesenteric, all along the middle line, as was the superior mesenteric. You also see the right and left gonadal arteries coming off, as you can see them over here. Very nice. Okay. And now you also see the aorta split into two, bifurcates into a right and a left common iliac artery. And as it goes further down, you get a right and left external iliac and a right and left internal iliac. The external iliac continues into the femoral artery in the leg. By the way, I want you to notice something that we're not going to talk about till we get to the reproductive system. Okay? So I'm going to mention it, but only superficially. I want you to look. In this case, we have obviously it's a male, all right? We have parts we could make it a female, but this is the male, and I'm glad I have it as such, because I want you to check out this over here. Look at the arterial stuff and the venous stuff. If it looks a little odd, it's odd for a reason. This is a very important physiological function here. Okay. Looking now at the venous system. Here we would have the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Going into the superior vena cava are the right and left brachiocephalic veins, right and left subclavian veins. Now, in this model, I don't know what they did. We have in the human, and give me the heart. Thank you. if you remember in this heart model, okay, here we had a superior vena cava, right and left brachiocephalic veins. Okay, so now we had the jugular veins. Watch them. Here's the two internal, right and left, external jugulars, right and left. Notice how they work, and these would be the subclavians, all joining to form the brachiocephalics. You see interior, exterior, or internal, external rather, I should call it. Internal, external, see them? Notice here, we don't have it. So what are these two things? Well, they are obviously meant to be jugular veins. Which are they? I would guess, since there is no such thing as a common jugular in a human, I would guess that they're making them the internal jugulars rather than external, because I can't see anything.
So we're going to name it internal jugular.
So as far as I'm concerned, if you just named it the jugular, I would be, because I don't have another one. Okay? So I think that's it. Let's sort of mosey over to my
Was
orange.
there no adrenolumbar in here?
Well, you really don't see much of it over here. They're here, obviously, but you don't really see it. Just because of the way they've sort of cemented this in. Okay.